So you finally finished your renovation? Everything looks perfect. But 6 months later, you're staring at dusty shelves, an awkward kitchen, and wondering why you ever thought that thing was a good idea. I'm Blake, and welcome back to Built by Becker. I'm breaking down 5 popular upgrades that homeowners regret way too often, and how to get the look you want without the pain later. Are you ready? Let's save you some serious renovation regret. Number 1 on our list has to be open shelving. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Those beautiful airy kitchen shelves you see all over social media that make you think, wow, my kitchen will look so spacious and modern with those. Well, there's a reason so many homeowners end up regretting this decision. First off, unless you are a professional home stager or have a dishware collection that belongs in a museum, everyday plates and cups probably aren't gonna look magazine ready 24/7. Here's the ugly truth about open shelving. It's basically a full-time job. Every time you cook, tiny particles of grease float up and settle on everything. Your dishware collects a film of kitchen grime. Decorative items become dust magnets, and everything needs to be perfectly arranged all the time. Since there's nowhere to hide mismatched or less attractive items, it also forces you to be ruthlessly organized. There's nowhere to hide the practical but unattractive kitchen tools, the mismatched plastic cups, or the specialty items you only use occasionally. So, the best option? Think hybrid. Keep most of your storage behind cabinet doors where the chaos can live in peace, and just use a few open shelves for your most attractive items and daily use pieces. This gives you the airy look without committing your future self to a lifetime of dusting and arranging. Remember folks, just because it looks good in a photograph doesn't mean it works well in real life. Number 2 on our regret list, kitchen islands with seating. Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Kitchen islands themselves can be fantastic additions to a kitchen. It's when people try to cram seating into an island that is too small or in a kitchen that does not have the space for it that the problems begin. Because an island with seating to work well, you need at least 36 inches of clearance behind those seats when someone is sitting there. That's 3 whole feet, people. Most people don't realize this when they're planning their dream kitchen. They see that cute picture with the 3 perfectly aligned bar stools and think, I can do that. And no, you can't. The worst part of it is that many people sacrifice valuable storage space to accommodate this seating that rarely gets used. They cut into cabinets to make room for the knees, losing precious kitchen storage in the process. If you've got the space for it, great. And be honest about your kitchen's dimensions. A better approach for smaller kitchens might be a peninsula with seating on just one side, or a rolling island that can be moved for gatherings but doesn't permanently eat up your circulation space. Number 3, concrete countertops. Man, these look so cool in design magazines, don't they? Industrial chic, minimalistic, unique. The appeal is understandable. They're like the rebel of the countertop world. Granite, quartz, I'm going with concrete, baby, because I'm edgy and different. Here's what those pretty pictures don't show you: the maintenance nightmare that follows. The reality of concrete countertops is far less glamorous than the photos suggest. Even professionally installed concrete countertops come with significant issues. They're extremely porous, which means they will soak up everything: oil, wine, coffee, you name it. Homeowners find themselves resealing countertops every 6 months to keep them looking decent at best. Miss a resealing, and you'll quickly regret it. Also, there are hairline cracks. They're pretty much inevitable. Concrete naturally develops hairline cracks over time. Professional installers often call this character, but most homeowners don't find random cracks running through their countertops particularly charming. Now, if you're absolutely in love with the concrete look, there's a much smarter alternative: quartz that mimics concrete. Major manufacturers make amazing concrete looking quartz that gives you all the aesthetic with none of the headache. They're non-porous, they don't need sealing, they won't crack, and much more forgiving with stains. Want the industrial aesthetic? Choose quartz with a matte finish and a concrete appearance. Most people can't even tell the difference visually, but you'll certainly notice the difference in the upkeep, and you'll thank me later. Number 4 on our list of renovation regrets: garage conversions. This one is tricky because on paper it makes perfect sense. Look at all this unused space. I could turn this into a home office, maybe a gym, a guest room, a man cave, a she shed, a craft studio. It seems the free square footage just is waiting to be claimed. I'll tell you this first before it's too late. Garages aren't built to be the same standards as your living space. The walls aren't usually insulated, the floor might be sloped for drainage, and there's often minimal electrical wiring. Bringing all that up to code for a living space, way more expensive than most people budget for, and that's not all. Your garage isn't connected to your home's heating and cooling systems most of the time, which means you'll need to extend your existing system or install something separate. Either way, it's not cheap, and many do-it-yourselfers underestimate this cost. But the biggest regret usually comes from losing what garage is actually designed for: storage and protecting your vehicles. And while you might think adding some square footage always increases the home's value, that's not necessarily true with garage conversions. Many buyers specifically want a garage for, their cars. By converting it, you're essentially limiting your buyer pool down the road. Garage conversions aren't always a bad idea, but full-on makeovers can backfire. A smart move? Try a partial conversion. Maybe use half for a home office and keep the other half for storage and your car. Sliding doors, even temporary walls, can give you the flexibility without locking you in later. Future you or future buyers will be glad you kept your options open. And finally, number 5, outdoor kitchens. Oh, the fantasy is enticing. Beautiful summer days spent flipping burgers on your brand new grill while your friends lounge around the outdoor kitchen or sit by the pool, drinks in hand from the outdoor refrigerator, music playing. Sounds like paradise, right? The reality is, for most homeowners, is quite different. These expensive installations typically get used maybe 10 to 15 times a year, being generous, sit empty, weathering the rest of the time. They require constant maintenance to keep them from deteriorating, and when you look at the cost per use, it gets a little painful. A full outdoor kitchen, built-in grill, side burner, fridge, sink, and even an ice maker can easily run you $20,000 to $30,000. If you use the item 10 times a year, that's $2,000 per use. Ouch. Yes, it looks good, and the parties you could throw there would be a great time. But what you don't realize is how much maintenance is involved. First, there's the weather. Even with covers, outdoor appliances take a serious beating. That sleek outdoor fridge, it probably won't hold up well in freezing winters or blasting summers. In many climates, it's just not practical year-round. Then there's the plumbing. If you live somewhere cold, you need to winterize those water lines every single year or risk a burst of pipe. And don't forget electrical. Has to be outdoor rated, installed correctly, and maintained regularly to stay safe. Yep, pests, rodents, bugs, and other critters love making homes in rarely used outdoor spaces. Firing up the grill only to discover a surprise nest? Not fun. The real question is, does your outdoor kitchen actually fit your lifestyle? Be honest. If your outdoor season is short and you don't entertain big groups often, it might not be worth it. Even in sunny places like Southern California or here in Florida, lots of homeowners admit they barely use theirs. So what's a better strategy? Start small. Try a quality rolling grill and prep table. Maybe a portable fridge you can bring inside in off season. Use that setup for a year or two, and if you're loving it and using it regularly, then maybe consider something more permanent. You can also go modular. Start with a built-in grill under a pergola, see how much you get out of it, and then go from there based off of your habits, not your wishful thinking. Just remember, anytime you want to renovate something in your home, the best renovation is one that fits your real life, not some TV fantasy. Built for how you live, not for how you imagine you might. So now, tell me, what's one renovation regret or one that you almost did? Don't be shy, drop it in the comments, and if you're planning a reno soon, hit subscribe. I'd love to help you avoid the next big headache before it happens. I'm Blake from Built by Becker, and we'll see you on the next video.